Travis Wayne Goodsell. We got some church news for you. But before we get to that, I'm currently watching Season 7 of The Rookie with Nathan Fillion. And in the episode I watched earlier today, a wife of a serial killer who believed that her husband was innocent had found out that her husband had told their child, not to talk to the cops and to lie to the cops if they came asking about his father, to lead them astray to search for the wrong vehicle. The mother, finding out that her husband told their son to lie to the cops so that they wouldn't catch him, was shocked, and she was asked, "Are you okay with your husband telling your son to lie and deceive the cops so that he can get away with whatever it is he's doing without your knowledge?" Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints spends a lot of effort and time on little children in the church, trying to convince them and to groom them to go on missions. They even created a song, "I hope they call me on a mission when I have grown a foot or two. I hope by then I will be ready." Everybody now. The whole thing is about missionary work. Have any of you even read your scriptures? Or did you do what the church told you to do, and the missionaries who are teenagers, and just got a spiritual witness feeling about the truth without ever reading it? I've told you several times over the 8.7K plus videos that the branch president over the largest older singles ward in this valley told me while we were cleaning the church one Saturday, pulling out the foyer couch to clean behind it, that he's not an intellectual like me, and confessed that he's never even read the Book of Mormon, as if it were some kind of a badge of honor. If he, as an older man than I at that time, so he would have been my age now, not having ever read the Book of Mormon and thinking that that was a badge of honor, versus me, an intellectual. Yeah. There is a massive difference in the way we act and interact with others. And so, yes, I fully understand why everybody hates me in this church. They don't read. You are being lied to by the church, and you are sent out to lie and spread those lies and to deceive people on what the truth is. While the church leaders commit crimes all over the world. Are you okay with that? You okay with them doing that to your children or grandchildren? Or in some cases, according to the age of the analytics of YouTube, your great-grandchildren. If not grandchildren, if I didn't say that. Are you seriously okay with that? Are you a enemy for Jesus? I would hope not, as a Mormon. You were told in the MTC that while you're out in a foreign country, you represent the church, and so you need to be on your best behavior. Because what you do in the public realm will reflect upon the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So if you're down in Provo area, Utah County, as a missionary, and you rape a girl, yeah, you'll get your 15 minutes of fame on all the local news, and it will be silenced after that. But you will be thrown under the bus. But around the world, you won't have Mormons to protect the church from you. Are you okay with that? Kind of important. Wickedness. The church has deceived you as to what wickedness is because there's a whole bunch of obsessed people with claims that other people are committing wickedness that are not really that wicked, if at all. For example, word of wisdom. Oh no, you drank coffee, you're excommunicated, you're going to hell. Now granted, I will never touch the stuff. If it doesn't smell good, if it doesn't look good, and especially if it doesn't taste good, it is never going in my mouth. And it is never going in my mouth again if for some reason I dared to test it with a taste. Never again. Ain't happening. So as a kid, walking down the coffee aisle, back in those days, you smelt it, and you smelt it on purpose. The companies made sure you smelt it on purpose. And as a kid, I ain't touching that stuff. So when James, my neighbor, the born-again Christian, told me in 8th grade, he mocked and laughed and said, "I'm not allowed to drink coffee." I said, "So? I ain't touching this stuff." No big loss for me. But other stuff, alcohol, yeah. Not really a crime to drink alcohol as long as you're over 21, which is weird because the Constitution says 18 with that amendment. But nonetheless, alcohol in and of itself is not a crime. Drinking it is not a crime. Committing an act of violence or taking away other people's agency with life, liberty, or property, yeah. Now you've committed a crime. And yeah, you'll probably try to blame it on the alcohol, but nope, you made the choice to drink the alcohol. You are responsible for any and all actions that take place after you chose to drink the alcohol. So if you can get a defense lawyer that can screw over the court system, more power to you, I guess, but the crime is taking away agency. So, R-rated movies? Nope, not a crime, not a sin. Porn? Yeah. As long as you were not recorded by Jeffrey Epstein, metaphor for all around the world. If you are a consenting adult, all you're doing is art, education, and science. Not a crime, not a sin. Church should have been teaching you that because it's in the scriptures. But to take somebody's life, to take somebody's liberty, to take somebody's property, or to cause damage to somebody's property, cyber attacks count, hacking somebody's account or internet service counts. You are now the wicked person. You are committing the crime. It's a real simple doctrine. It's in our Constitution even. Life, liberty, property. And so thus, you do not have the right to take away other people's rights. And everybody's screwing that up over the First Amendment. Whether it's religion, the press, civilians, or suing the government for redress of grievances. Everybody thinks that they can commit a crime and get away with it. Even Bailey, Nathan Fillion's character's wife in the show, John Knowlton. She was previously married to a guy who was abusive in the relationship, and she got away. But then he decided that he was going to come back and murder her. You see this coming. You watch enough TV shows that you see that when they let the bad guy go, and you know he's going to come back for a sequel or a future episode. Inevitable. And so, being married to a cop, she didn't tell him, but he had found out independent of her that he was coming to murder her. And so he, as a cop, investigated, tried to hunt him down to find him and stop him from murdering his wife, as all good husbands and cops would do. She, however, kept it a super sacred secret from him. As I'm just sighing at whoever created that character flaw in her as the script writer. Nonetheless, you saw what was coming. And so, yeah, the previous assassin that John dealt with in trying to find her ex, who's coming to murder his wife, made himself known to John, and he likewise made himself known to her. As he then said, "I'm not here to assassinate you. Your husband I'm after. Your ex. So call this number to inform me of where he's at, and I'll take care of him for you." So, yep, sure enough, she did. And he ended up assassinating the ex just barely before John arrived on the scene to get him himself. She did not trust her husband. She did not trust the cop who was her husband. She kept it all secret from him. She, of course, got caught because her husband is the star of the show as the cop. And when he confronted her with that, she then threw it right back in his face, saying, "You can't judge me." Rather than being remorseful and acknowledging that moment of weakness out of fear for her life, she immediately went to the false, scriptural, taken out of context argument that all criminals say. You can't judge me of my crimes. Yes, if you kept reading, we can. You took away life, you took away liberty, you took away property. Even though the script writers made it so that the right people were the ones whose life was taken, whose liberty were taken, whose property were taken or destroyed. Church news. Nelson is not showing up to work. He did a video for Sunday for the missionaries who are brand new, or the mission presidents going out brand new. But Oakes is now sitting on the throne chair. He rightfully can. When the president is down, the counselors default back into the quorum of the 12, and the president of the 12 is the leader of the church in the absence of the president. Oakes is the president of the 12 as the first counselor. So he defaults back into the 12, and thus he is the leader of the church at the time, not Holland. Holland was not in attendance either. But what is also interesting is that no Mormon will ever know, unless you've been following me, the significance of this. I put out the call to Islam not too long ago, that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints used and then betrayed Islam. Here we go again. Wickedness loves to prove that they're wicked. They met with a Hindu leader here in Salt Lake City. Anybody know what's going on right now in the world? No? This is why the church doesn't want you knowing about world events. This is why they order that my life, liberty, and property be taken from me. All these years, all these videos. India, a very high concentration of Hindu, are at war with Pakistan. Islam. And so this should anger Islam, that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is meeting with a Hindu leader here in Utah. If it doesn't, then they're not aware of it, and they will never find out, because they don't watch my channel, and they won't watch the church news. So unless the local news covers it, any of them watch the news, they will never know. Shh, don't tell Travis. It would be no different than if the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints met with the rabbi here in Utah. Notice how they haven't? It would infuriate Islam, because Islam is at war with Israel, in case you didn't know. Likewise, Islam is at war with India. Islam has been activated, and we are waiting for the promise of Iran to cause a 9/11 event within the borders of the United States of America for Trump's involvement with the bombing. So I've gone over with you how that's all in scriptures. You chose not to watch. You chose not to believe. You have agency. I will not take it away from you. But there are consequences, aren't there?